Broadcasting from the C lot of Joan C. Edwards Stadium, the ThunderCast is here with all the sights and sounds of game day. We are your tailgate destination. We are your fan base amplification. We are the ThunderCast, and we are live.
Welcome to ThunderCast Live, powered by Ignite Link. Russ Livingood here with Jed Horton here at the tailgate, and we got KD coming in from Florida. KD, what's up?
Fun in the sun, baby. Just missing you guys at the gym.
Jed, got a great tailgate here. Tell us a little bit about what we got going on.
Yeah, it's the weather I think that we wanted from last week, right? It's sunny, blue skies, a couple clouds in the sky, but it is a beautiful day. It's warm outside. A great day for Marshall football. Great day to notch that one in the win column today, Russ. So great atmosphere, great food, great people. It's a good day.
Yeah, we're full disclosure running into some issues with the cooking, and we're behind, but we got some people over here eating some triple dip fried chicken, baked beans, all kinds of sides and desserts, and you know the ThunderCast is going to be tailgating hot. We've got landscaping by Hillcrest made all this possible. Also got some giveaways over here from my man Jed with Ignite Link and Dead Meat Society Jake, who was with us last week. So if you're in the area, come to the C lot, get some gear.
Yeah, so we've got some things here. So please come by. It's a surprise on the Ignite Link side, but it's well worth it. I've got a few left, so come by.
KD, I want to hear from you about the football game. Let's talk a bunch of football. Score prediction still the same that you had?
Yeah, still feeling pretty much the same. Nothing's changed for me. Nothing across the airwaves or social media waves the past few days since we did our preview of the game to make me change my line of thinking. I'm still very much in a gonna have to prove it to me, show me state of mind right now. I might feel different 4 quarters from now, but for right now, I'm gonna have to see it before I can believe it.
So I have been told that we will see Carlos Del Rio Wilson be the starter. And I've been told to expect a lot of quarterback runs, maybe upwards of 15, maybe not just from him, but from all quarterbacks. Thoughts on that, Jed and KD? KD, hear you first, then Jed.
I feel like that seems to be like a expected recipe. We've all been talking about the need to run the football, so you might as well put in the quarterback who was the most prolific runner, at least in the preseason.
Yeah.
Nothing against the passing game from either one or any of these 3 quarterbacks, but Del Rio Wilson was the most prolific runner leading into the season, and we know firsthand that they went away from that recipe last week. We need to see it heavily this week, so it doesn't surprise me that even though he did not see a snap last week, he is indeed possibly starting this game.
Yeah, Jed?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, especially, the coaches continue to talk about, the quarterbacks, the competition and who's going to be QB1. So this is an opportunity for Del Rio Wilson to get the start in the game. And let's see what he can do. So I'm with Katie on this one. Definitely not unexpected, and looking forward to hopefully getting a little bit more exciting on the offense. Let's put some more points on the board, and let's make up for last week.
So do you guys think that we might see only Del Rio Wilson, or will we see a second or possibly third quarterback?
Yeah, I think you'll see multiple quarterbacks. And I'm not even talking like barring injury or anything like that. I think the game plan should be to see multiple quarterbacks. especially if you get in and are fortunate enough to get up by, say, 3 scores fairly early in the game, late first half, you're probably going to see a second quarterback close out that first half on that final drive. Wouldn't surprise me. Doesn't mean that you wouldn't see Del Rio Wilson out to start the second half, but I just feel like if an opportunity presents itself, you've got a comfortable lead with the ball to close out the half, why wouldn't you, and if you have a long field, why wouldn't you go ahead and try to get another guy in there just for some rep? Now, if you happen to get a short field, might as well try to punch one more in before the half. Yeah. It just depends on the scenario, but I feel like the game plan, if the score allows, would definitely be to get more than one guy in the game.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, Jed.
Yeah. No, I was just going to second what KD said. This is probably your last opportunity to work out the kinks. Yeah. Because you go down to Middle Tennessee, and then you're jumping right into conference play. So if you're going to work some things out, today's the day to do it. I wouldn't be surprised to see all three myself.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, hopefully, to see more, because we got a complete game from Zion Turner, but we have only seen 3 attempts passing. I think only in one series. Might have been 2 series for Carlos Del Rio Wilson. So I'd like to see him. I'd like to see more Ja'Kai Long against someone that is not Georgia.
Yep.
But yeah, I think 2 to 3 would be good to me. If I had to take the over-under on 1, I'm definitely taking the over. If it had to be over-under on 2, I don't know. Maybe we only see 2, but I'd like to see all 3.
I don't know if you're required to see all 3. Honestly, at this point, I'll take whatever the winning formula is. If it's all 3, then it is all 3. If somebody's got the mojo working, leave it alone. I kind of said that last week as a key to victory. They didn't leave it alone. And, we come up on the short side against a team that many think we should have beaten. I'm one of those people that think that also. But while we're also talking about, let me give you an update on that.
Yeah,
real quick.
I was getting ready to say that because we had a comment here, but go ahead.
You got a Missouri State team right now. Remember, they're hosting SMU at home in their first ever home game as an FBS school. Yeah. Missouri State is up right now in the early second quarter, near mid-second quarter, 10-0 over SMU. Yeah. So this is not a terrible team.
Right.
There's still a lot of football to be played, obviously, but just know they've kept it rolling. There is no hangover, no letdown so far for Missouri State. They've come into the first quarter and a half and been playing some damn good football.
Yeah. Jacob Clark came in here 359 yards, I think it was, that he threw for. Also caught one for 29, so they had just under 380 yards passing. And they're a threat, man. They played a very good game against us. I'm not ready to jump off the ledge just because we lost to them. Yes, we should have won that game. Yeah. But now they're taking it to SMU. And I think there's a lot of people across the country that think that SMU is a really, really good team.
Well, they are a good team. Yeah. I mean, they're a quality team. They're backed by a great financial backing with their alumni base. They can afford to be really, really competitive in the NIL space. Yeah. And out of the state of Texas, that's pretty difficult to do. You have to have some pretty good support from a donor base to be able to do that. It does help a little bit, I'd say, that they play in the ACC. So you get a section of recruits that maybe want to play on that part of the country versus, say the Big 12 or the SEC or something like that. But still, Missouri State's a really decent team. They could be considered a contender in the Conference USA if they weren't a transition team, and probably ineligible to play in the Conference USA championship game. Yeah. I don't know how you wouldn't say they aren't right now. There's nobody standing out necessarily in that conference. Also, one other thing I got to say from a Sun Belt note today, guys. Currently, we're 0-3 as a conference. Arkansas State is hosting number 14 Iowa State midway through the first quarter. It's only 3-0 Iowa State. Arkansas State does have the ball currently, but who knows how that one's going to play out. Right. It looks like Marshall might be the first legitimate chance to get a win for the conference today. So a little added pressure going to the herd in this one.
Yeah, Sun Belt over the first couple of weeks did not look like what we were thinking about the Sun Belt might look like. But they have had a lot of big opponents that they had to play. Obviously, there have been some lower opponents that we had to play as a conference, but I'm really hoping this week kind of turns that around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's same here. Because it's the Sun Belt Conference over the last few years has come out of the gate swinging.
Yeah.
And you just haven't really seen that this year. So.
Yeah, cream of the crop, really. You know, remember, it was almost 3 years to the week. Just a few days ago when we beat Notre Dame. And then I'm blanking on the other ones. I know that we had 2 other big wins.
Yeah, it was App State. App State beat Texas A&M.
That's right.
And I believe it was Georgia Southern that went in and beat Nebraska.
That's right. Those are the 2.
Nebraska was not a ranked win, but it was still a big win.
Yeah, big win.
But here's the thing that we're also not talking about. Yeah, there were some big opponents, but the Sun Belt just continually had its top talent poached away in the portal.
That's right.
About the only couple of guys, I'm sure there were a couple of more, and we pay attention to this because we're Herd fans, but 2 of the top players that didn't get poached were Mike Green and J.J. Roberts. They both play on Sundays, or they would be had J.J. not be injured. Yeah. So that's a real problem. I think somebody put up a graphic, I can't remember who it was, but like the all Sun Belt teams were like, nobody's on the team anymore. This is from like 2 years ago. They were all gone. So, that's a problem that you have to weather. And I really love it when people say, see, the Sun Belt came down to earth. Well, it's really it's really easy to come down to earth when all of your top talent is transferred out of the conference and you have to replace that top talent with new top talent in the portal. So Marshall's kind of a microcosm of the conference as a whole. Everybody's trying to figure it out and find those star players when if some guys would just stay put, the grass isn't always greener, as we know. You would have some teams that are really, really powerful teams, and the train would have just kept rolling for this conference.
Or you see these, quote-unquote, I hate the term, but P4. You see these teams say, well, these teams can't play with us, talking about the G6. Yet they take 25, 30 players a year from the G6. And that makes up their roster. They go there and they perform well, So I don't think the divide is as big as they would like you to think, but they just happen to have more money. Yeah.
Well, it's top to bottom, right? Like roster for roster, top to bottom. No, you can't compete consistently.
Right.
But also, we don't have the funding that those teams have, that those programs have. If we were on an even par, let's say college football was set up like the NFL, where you have revenue sharing and everybody kind of has a salary cap, and you have to do the best you can do with that same amount of money. Well, I think you'd see a lot more like the NFL. There'd be a hell of a lot more parity across college football than there is now. But now it's just if you spend more, that's a direct relation to being able to win more.
Right, and I think a lot of this still has to shake out too, right? Because the revenue sharing is still new, NIL is still relatively new. You've got a lot of people spending a lot of money, and it's such a big shakeup right now that the dust definitely hasn't settled yet on all of this, and there's going to have to be some more rules and some more guidelines put in on this.
I'm sorry, but there is a Wendy's Frosty walking by our tailgate right now. I just had to tell you all about that.
I saw the giant Frosty last week along with Wendy. So it was like the duo, the tag team.
I don't know if this is actually a giant Frosty or if that's a costume.
I think it's, I don't know. Go lick it. Lick it. See, and let me know.
Yeah, I'm not going back to jail this week. I want to pause just for a second on the football talk and shout out landscapingbyhillcrest.com. Landscaping by Hillcrest, making this tailgate free to everyone. I got some people over here right now digging on some fried chicken, digging on some baked beans, digging on some sides and desserts. And it's all thanks to Landscaping by Hillcrest. If you have not seen, go to their website, look at the projects that they do. This is not cutting grass. This is not like throwing down some mulch. They do hardscapes better than anyone around. They can put in pools. I have some things up here right now. They have some water features. They've got pools. They've got fencing. They've got rubber stone, which will cover any of your. I think Jed's throwing that up right now. I don't know if everybody can see that, but they've got rubber stone to go over your bad concrete, your bad steps, all that stuff.
I feel bad.
No, I want you to keep it. No, please.
Now,
Just to let everybody know, Brett Riffey at the stadium store brought this by to me earlier. Very nice little umbrella hat, kept me. But I've got this gentleman right here. I want you to have it. Yeah, I do. Yeah. No,
don't feel
you
bad.
shouldn't You shouldn't feel bad.
No, you shouldn't.
No, because right now we're telling everyone where they can go get it. So you're advertising for them. Come in here just a second. This gentleman's going to throw this on. You can get this at the stadium store, thanks to Brett Riffey.
Dang.
And this is an alum of Marshall football, Brett Riffey, running the stadium store. So the campus bookstore right here at the stadium, all that, it's ran by a Marshall alum. They're open the entire time that the tailgate lots are open. So come by, get one. We've got a guy here that just got one for free. Thanks to them. Go by and get your one.
Looking good, and rain or shine, the umbrella hat will take care of you. And when you go in the Thunder Zone Stadium store, make sure you stop and tell Brett that the ThunderCast sent you over there, because you heard on ThunderCast Live that they were open all during the tailgates. And I think sometimes they even try to stay open during the game for a little bit.
They
I'm
are.
not 100% on that. I think they are. But Brett's a great dude, Herd alum, really cares about the program, obviously cares about the fan base. And they're really trying to take that stadium store presence to another level.
Well, you know,
to make your merch easier.
One of the things that you see here, you know, we're talking about all this NIL and moving from team to team, but people that played here at Marshall, it's special to them, it's special to Brett. That just shows you about the Herd brothers. Once you're Herd, you're always here, and that's definitely how he views it.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Herd game. I know that's what a lot of people are tuning in for. I mentioned earlier my score prediction hasn't changed any, really. We talked about seeing the quarterbacks. We haven't talked about defense, though. We talked about Eastern Kentucky on our preview show having a pretty aggressive defense that's really got a knack for turning you over. After a few days of letting that preview kind of marinate, thinking about some things that you might not have considered while we were recording that show, has anything else popped into your mind to think, you know what, I should have talked about that?
No, maybe we could have talked a little bit more about 76 yards and 79 yards from Miles Burkett, the quarterback for EKU. That's abysmal. And that's not a shout at them. That's not him personally. That's just not a lot of production. And I think that we're going to see a lot of aggressive, same style that we did against Jacob Clark last week early. I think that we're going to get back there, disrupt that, prevent him from having any kind of runs. So if you do that and you can stop their run offense, which is 2.7, help me out, KD. I think that's
I just remember the leading rusher was
2.5. Yeah, and I think overall it's 2.7, 2.8, something like that. So they're not doing a lot on offense. They have 2 defensive touchdowns amongst their 37 total points. Obviously got some field goals in there as well. It just looks like an opportunity for our defense to go crazy today. And I don't know that, even though we talked about that on our preview, I don't know that we've stressed about that enough. That would be one thing that I would talk about here today, that we've, like you said, had that marinade a little.
I have been thinking, like, you know, I mentioned how the guys have been playing a little undisciplined on the back end. We have been taking some poor tackling angles. The other huge thing that I didn't mention that had really kind of stuck in my head since the preview was the over pursuit that we kept seeing in those screen plays and some of those play action type plays where you just get sucked into the wrong type of coverage, and then next thing you know, you're playing catch up, and that's not an area that I want to see the Herd get into today. I really need to see a lot more textbook style defense. I need some assignment football. And I mean, I guess you keep tossing the word around, and it is discipline. You need to see more disciplined defense. Everybody doing their job. If everyone does their job, there's really no slack to pick up, right? And that's kind of what we need to see. Just get back to basics.
Yeah.
Worry about you, and everybody on the field just do their job and not try to do too much. I think you do that, and you load up more so to stop that run because the pass game really isn't there. I think Marshall can kind of have a dominant day on defense if they just take it back to basics a little bit.
Yeah, I think you said over pursuit. I think that we were hyper aggressive early. We had some success with that early last week, and I think that they made the adjustment to throw in some of those screens, to throw in some of those, let the quarterback run away from the blitz that was coming and things like that. We have the talent to do it. I've had a lot of people that I've seen say, well, there's no talent on the field. We are loaded with talent.
Tons of talent on the field.
Yeah, there's tons there. What happened was they adjusted to what was going on. We were still ears pinned back going to that. Coach Tony Gibson said that's what you're going to do on a 3rd and long. When we sacked them on 1st down, we sacked them on 2nd down. We are right there to get them. It's a screen pass right over top of their heads of the rushers coming in, all of a sudden at 55 yards, leading to that go-ahead touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, just looking from the eyeball test last week, just watching the game here from the stadium, it was like there was a little bit of overcommitment or a half step too late to a tackle or to almost a sack, and it was just there was a lot of almosts, it looked like, and I don't think that's something that you continue to see of just almost if you can make the right adjustments and, like you mentioned, play disciplined football, play your positions, don't overcommit. Don't try to be the hero. I mean, sometimes when you get the opportunity to be the hero and get the interception, get the scoop and score and those things. But don't try to be the hero and force it. And I'm not saying that everyone's trying to do that, but if you're playing that disciplined ball, your opportunities will come. You capitalize on the opportunities. And I mean, we're due for a pick six or at least an interception. We're due for a fumble recovery. We've
Jed's calling it right now.
I'm calling it right now. Yeah, and so we're due for it. So those opportunities will come. Just capitalize on them when they come and don't overcommit.
Hold on, if that's all you got to do, then give me a second. We're due for 40 points on offense.
There
we're
it
due
is.
for six.
We're due for a lot.
We're due.
Give me 800 yards of offense.
I think the biggest thing we're due for is a win.
Yeah,
that's
sure,
what the
for
herd
sure.
is due for.
Yeah.
It's great that the last win was hoisting a trophy for a championship, but not when you're 3 weeks into the season. So now you need to be hoisting or just putting one in the left-hand column, right? That's what needs to happen. I mentioned this in the preview. All the goals are still on the table, and it sounds like really a cliche thing to say after a bad loss, but it is, because they're still in the out-of-conference. You can still win the Sun Belt. You can still go to a bowl game. You can still do all of those things. The only thing that you really can't do, I mean, you can, but you're going to have to go 10 straight weeks with a win or 10 straight games with a win in order to secure that double-digit win regular season. So that one is all but off the table. It's not, but it almost is. And I know when you're feeling bad, the last thing you want to hear is some dude going, but all the goals are still on the table. But the reality is they are.
Yeah.
And you can't let one bad loss stick around and leave a sour taste in your mouth. We sit on here and tell the guys, you got to get over it and get ready for next week. Well, so do we as fans. We got to get over it and get ready for the next week. That's hard to do. I know it's hard to do.
KD, I want to take just a second to say that we've had some EKU fans that found us over here.
Awesome.
They parked over here near us, so they, Karen, is going to grab them immediately, tell them to come by. And they were here for a while, and, obviously family is playing here today. We were going to have them on, but not knowing exactly when they needed to go over, they saw us go live. They had to leave. So looks like we're not going to have any EKU fans on, but we did have some here. Always great to talk to them. We talked to them, gave them some Huntington and Herd hospitality, and they loved it.
That's great. That hopefully, though, they saw our visitors guide game enhance your Marshall game day experience.
Elevate.
That was brought to you by. I'm sorry, elevate your Marshall game day experience, brought to you by Dead Meat Society, deadmeatsociety.com. A great lifestyle brand centered around grilling and smoking meats and tailgating and that whole vibe and culture. If you're trying to get into that sort of thing, make sure you go visit deadmeatsociety.com. Anyway, that's a really useful guide. If there happens to be, any Middle Tennessee State's not coming here. Who's the next home game?
ODU.
You know who the next home. Old Dominion. Well, those guys know what's up. Yeah. But even if some of the fans are making the trek for the first time, that video's out there for you guys too. We'll be posting it closer to game day, or game week, so that you guys can get the skinny on maybe making your first trip to Huntington too. Guys, is there anything left that we have to talk about before I can let you get back to this gorgeous day that I'm so freaking jealous of tailgating?
Jed, we didn't get a score prediction from you. Would you like to weigh in?
Sure. If we're going to get 800 yards of offense and 300-0. No, I think you're going to see, especially against an FCS opponent, who I think we should dominate. That's the expectation here. I'm going to call it. Let's call it 38-3. Okay. Good guys. And I think we lock in, we lock down, and we pour it on. But the reason I don't go into the 40s or 50s with that score, I think, is you're going to see if things go the way that we anticipate, you're going to see multiple quarterbacks. You're going to see some of your second and third stringers getting some good quality time. So mark it down, 38-3. That is my prediction.
I'm still rolling 41-6. I think that they are going to struggle on offense. They have most of the year. I really, really, really think that we are going to need to have a victory like that, a convincing victory, for the team confidence, for the fans, for everybody. I see it going that way.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on the same thing. I believe I said 38-14 in the preview. I feel that still, even though that's probably generous to the offensive production of Eastern Kentucky. Show me you can keep somebody out of the end zone when you need to, right? One last quick look around the scoreboard here. SMU has put a touchdown on the board. They're now 10-7. Almost nearing halftime, about 4 minutes to go till halftime against Missouri State. Middle Tennessee, next week's opponent, kicks off at Nevada here in about 8 minutes. And Iowa State has extended their lead to 9-0 over Arkansas State in the Sun Belt scoreboard right now. So looking like the Herd's going to be, like I said, the best opportunity to get a win for the Sun Belt this weekend, the first one. There should be more anyway. Jed, one thing we also didn't do, unless I was just not in yet, is talk about Ignite Link real quick, because this whole setup is powered by Ignite Link. So let's tell folks what Ignite Link does and how you can benefit businesses of all sizes.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So Ignite Link is an IT managed services provider located here in Huntington, West Virginia. We do have offices in Huntington, Charleston, and Elkins, West Virginia, servicing those areas. If you're a small, medium-sized business looking to enhance your cybersecurity, your IT needs, your compliance, whether you're bound by HIPAA or NIST, CMMC, PCI, those kind of things, we have the team, we have the professionals that can help you. So we essentially become your entire IT department, taking over that for you and giving you that peace of mind that you're secure, you're meeting the standards that are required by any governing body that you are participatory to. And and we're Herd fans and we're local. So if you need any of those services, give us a call. We're here and happy to help.
That's right, 9th Street Plaza. If you don't have an IT department, Jed and Ignite Link are your IT department. That is the easiest, simplest way to think about it. Instead, if you're like me, you don't know half of the acronyms he just spit out. Just think, hey, my business needs an IT department. They're your IT department.
Jed, KD, I've got a very, very special guest with us right now. This is Brinley. Do we need to back up, Jed? Can you see that?
No, she's
Okay.
on camera. Let's.
All right, 11 months. This is the first.
The second game, but
Oh,
if we win today, I'm going to tell her it's first.
All right. So they did brave the weather last week to come to this, but Brinley here, we love to see this. Parents bringing their children to come to Herd games. They'll see this photo forever and grow up being a Herd fan. Obviously here with Alex, that is a massive Herd fan, and your wife is? Melanie. Alex and Melanie bringing Brinley here. And we just love to see that. I saw them over here at the tailgate, and they had said they were going to come by last week, and we had all that crazy rain. But I saw them over. I thought that would be cool to have her get on there. They can always look back at this game, and they can watch this on YouTube, and they can say, hey, this was Brinley making her debut on ThunderCast Live, powered by Ignite Link. Brinley, would you like to say anything?
Say blah, blah, blah.
I think she said go Herd.
I thought I heard go Herd.
I think I heard go Herd.
That was plain as day.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to take us out of here. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Brinley. Thank you, Melanie. Jed, on behalf of you, Ignite Link, on behalf of Dead Meat Society, who also has things here to give away, but for everybody over at Landscaping by Hillcrest making all this possible, I just want to say, whether you see us at the Jack, whether you see us at the Cam, or whether you see us at the Joan, no matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go Herd. It's the ThunderCast, and we'll see you very soon.